This is Olivia's reading, but yeah, if you want to watch it, you totally can because it's obviously public. Right now I'm looking like staring directly at the like remnants of the full moon that we had like 2 days ago, and it's like peeking through the blinds, like peaky blinders, a little bit. Um, this is also the same direction. What am I trying to say? I really don't talk much outside of this job function. I don't have anyone to talk to. But what I was gonna say is, I'm here, and the graveyard I work on at is like the opposite. Like it's underneath where the moon would be if I was standing in front of it. So it's cool to be working right now. I feel like some of that energy could be coming through for you. And that could be some of the significance of the timing of all of this is maybe things have had to come to a culminating point in your life before like it was even really appropriate for you to get what you're about to get, what you need to get, or to be developed in a particular way, because the events of my life that I imagine are probably like being mirrored for you is I'm having to like pack my like apartment and move across the country to go back home. So I've had some kind of like Indiana Jones, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character arc where I traveled to the Wild West and learned about how cowboys live. And now I guess it's time for me to like go back home. And for me, it's like weird because it's like I kind of get attached to my identity as being a wild and rough thing that like had to be wild and rough because my environment is wild and rough. But I don't know how I'm going to be once I don't have to be wild and rough because I'm so used to being wild and rough now. So I'm trying to figure out what is what about what for me personally as it like pertains to who I actually am going to be, because I could be anything or anyone that I decided was necessary to be. So it's just like because of all the change that's been happening, you know, politically, like at the same time that the political change is happening, like and the religious reform is starting to begin, my hands are starting to like I have wounds on them, so it makes it hard to work because I have to shuffle the cards, but then after shuffling the cards, they're like literally hitting up against my finger, which is literally in the process of absorbing the ring. So it's like I'm living some kind of Lord of the Rings Matrix arc at the same time. Identity like cultivation is what I could say that this is. Like what's important for you right now is figuring out who you are, what your character is, and then what the purpose of your character's creation has been. Like, what are you supposed to be doing with all of the inheritance that you have, or blessings that you have? Because part of the reason why I think I ran away was because I didn't even know who I was. Like, I had a dad, but not like he wasn't so close that I could see him. So I didn't know him. So once I found out who he was, we didn't like there was a need to understand. And that process for me took time. So there could be like initial rejections that you're having that you need time to recover from. And that feels like something that's like supposed to be happening. It's okay to like not like something and then change your mind about how you feel about something in the face of new information. I've even been around people who exist in contrast to me and allowed myself to feel inspired by circumstances that a past version of me would have looked down on. So, like, the more still you can be in your circumstances, even when you're existing in, like, lack, deprivation, the easier it is to, like, make it to the other side. Like, if you are the chicken crossing the road. What the hell? I know it's like, what the fuck? At least I feel like that when I heard myself say the chicken crossing the road thing. like playing like fucking Crossy Roads. But that's like a childhood game. Like, I wonder if you need to learn how to have more fun. And I feel like that's my thing right now. And that's what I've been struggling with. And like part of the reason why I couldn't like make the content that I felt like you guys were like needing from me was because I was constantly being like every single time I mustered the energy and courage to come, which it does take like energy and courage to come and even like come live. So like even I'll muster it all up, right? Because it's something that like I'm not necessarily immediately inclined to be like extroverted. So I'm just like using my voice purposefully here, and then I do it, and then people like attack me for doing it, and then that happens for like a whole year, and then like I feel very like fed up a lot of the times with like even my responsibilities, but like I can't give them up because they're part of my purpose. I need to be doing this. But there are definitely times when it's a lot harder than other times, especially when I am just dealing with a lot of pressure. I hope this doesn't just sound like I'm complaining about my life to you. But this is how I'm feeling good to like start. I know that's like enough about you. But maybe there is something about me that needs to be said. It's like a whole thing here, man, because it's like, it's fucking with my creative process. Never before have I ever been so critical of what it is that I do contribute. Because before the climate, the weather changed, I believed completely in my direction. And I no longer can completely and fully stand on like 2 feet. Like I'm like, as I personally change, I can't be and do all the things that I did before. Like I no longer maybe even am. Like, you know what? When I took the Harry Potter sorting thing, I did it twice. The first time I took it, I got Hufflepuff. And I feel like the Hufflepuff aspect is who I have been, you know? Like, it's like cute and cuddly and like nice. And like yellow and, you know, bumblebees, and it's nice. But like, the second time I took it, I got Ravenclaw. And that feels like a lot more where I'm at now. It's like I feel like I've gone darker, and it's something that I could even like do or change about that. But it does definitely affect the way that I function in this role because I have another responsibility. I've always had the responsibility of like only bringing good, but it was a lot easier to only bring good when I had more good inside. You know, like when I never like was tainted at all by life and what it takes to like stay alive. You know, like it was easy to be a leader because I could do it without like, you know, contradicting myself. But like as I continue to like lead and like I only really want to be a good leader because I don't want to suffer the consequences of being a bad leader. But then I am not always ready to be a good leader. And that's something that I'm working on, is maintaining like a constant readiness. But that idea to me, it feels like completely overwhelming. Just because just knowing how much it takes for me to be ready for an hour, you know? like it's energy exhausting for me. Like, I don't know. And I feel like maybe one of the world's most sensitive people, and I don't know if I guess maybe I am, but I don't know if it's audacious to like really assert that as a boundary. Is like, because I don't know that like anybody can really relate as intensely. Like, you know, I can feel people in the houses around me. You know, it's not something that it's exhausting to just like live as myself. Like I have to be constantly sedated. So like you know, it's whatever. But we're gonna do general live reading. So talking about your energy any advice from your guides on how to navigate through this time. And I'm gonna start with this Voice of the Souls oracle. I got this from a local boutique called High Desert Daydream, and it's a pretty cute little thing. Okay. Oh, my hands hurt. Like in the crease of my fingers. Like, how am I supposed to stretch my hands? I can't. It's ridiculous. It's sabotage. Or, I prefer to think of it as like, I'm so good now that like, I don't even need the cards. But maybe that's just me being optimistic. I don't know. I can't tell for sure whether or not the universe is telling me that I need to like take a step away from tarot, or if this is just like some kind of trial to be overcome. I don't know. I can't understand from my personal perspective why I would need to abandon the deck, other than because we're moving into a conservative environment and it might be beneficial to already be ahead of what could be in years to come. So it's weird because I don't want to make it seem like I'm performing anything, but at the same time, any institutional practice religion is performative. It by definition is performed worship. Like it's all performance. So like no matter what you're doing, you're performing for somebody, and usually like you like to think that it's God, but like God's not here, so like it's really for people who are around you, and then yourself is you're the only ones who are there to observe you from like at least any kind of like this dimension anyways, like, you know. So I do perform because I think that there is still a value in that performance, and I think it's good for people to perform goodness and have that regularly like in their like schedule. Like I am a good person for at least an hour or two a week. Freedom. Yeah, or at least I try to be. And everybody kind of has the responsibility to prune their bonsai tree, and pick out and determine its shadow, like how big or how long is your shadow, and what can you do to like make sure that your shadow isn't longer or heavier than you or scarier than you want it to be. Or if you've been ignoring your shadow, looking into it, figure out where you can like remove things that are blocking your freedom. Because like fear can keep you from taking action. Like I never would have thought that I would have done an open mic until I did an open mic, and then I had done an open mic, and then doing another one didn't really feel like it was that hard to do because I'd already done it once, and then it was like, okay, this is the thing that people do. People want me to do this, like I'm successful in doing it, so why not do it again? So there could be things in your life that you need to initiate, and you need to kind of get out of your head about initiating those things. Or declare yourself free from the things that you have already submitted to, that you don't want to anymore. So like for me, yeah, I'm about to like be moving back in with family, so yeah, I'm submitting the need to pay rent. Like I'm not gonna have to do that anymore. And to me, like now, I feel exhausted by the weight of helping people. So I think that my volume will probably decrease, or there'll be some kind of change. I've already like changed my prices and everything, because I don't want to be as easy to access. I feel like it's important for my value to be completely understood, so that situations can reflect me easier. Communication. And this is interesting because she's not talking. There's no one else here on the card. So I was talking about like you having the responsibility of like pruning your tree, which, and like a lot of times bonsai is like meditation. Like all of a sudden my throat is like doing weird stuff. I want to punch the screen. um Message of forgiveness in reverse. Reproach in reverse. Secrets in reverse. I don't even know where that really came from, and it didn't really feel like it was like necessarily related to this content. So part of what you might uncover while you're pruning your tree, while you're doing this meditation, while you're speaking to yourself about what you want and how you can create what you want, you might need to feed through or like filter out some of this other nonsense and really ask yourself where that nonsense is coming from. I have to do this to myself a lot when I am feeling really critical of my physical appearance. I have to remind myself, like, I literally can't change it. You know, like, there's a lot of things that I've grown up feeling insecure about on my face. Because I have, like, a lot of, like, large, I guess, features, I feel. So, like, you know, for whatever reason, I've had insecurities. And when I was growing up, part of how I coped with that was just through the understanding that I can't change it. And so there was no point. Like, another thing, I was really insecure about my knees at one point. I thought I had, like, weird knees. And then I was like, dude, am I gonna, like, go through my entire life not liking my knees, knowing that there's, like, no way I can get other knees? Like, no way. I'd rather just decide that I like my knees instead of spending the rest of my life being upset about something I can't change. And that's something that also helped me with, like, and this might be, like, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it because it's my truth, right? But, like, this is part of the reason why I never, like, would have identified as being, like, transgender or anything like that. Even though we all know that I'm, like, a tomboyish, masculine type character. Because I've never felt so masculine that I felt like I wasn't a woman anymore, or that, like, my gender changed. So it's something about your connection with you and who you are and how you're creating that and the freedom that that allows you, that you're encouraged to think over and deliberate and consider, like, kind of everything that's going on around you, not only just within you but also around you. Because message of forgiveness is here in reverse. Um, yeah, like this kind of feels like it could be like a warning. And you know, I don't want to like get like really political and like talk about political stuff on here because I'm scared. Which is another part of the reason why I've been making a lot of content, because I know a lot of things just because I am allowed to know things, but then I'm afraid of what will happen if I try to tell you guys the things that I know. So I feel like it would be smart. This is a 40 card, number 40 in reverse, the message of forgiveness. And then this is 41, yeah, upright. I think it's wise to be conservative or structured in this time. And right now, like, part of this pruning that you're going through is to make sure that you are on solid ground for it. Because, like, if you're not doing the pruning internally, then you're deflecting that for the external, and then you really might not like how pruning takes place when you're not in control of it. So if you don't like want someone else like clipping away at you, then you need to kind of clip away at yourself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And that's like the natural opposite, like the natural duality to the situation at hand. I'm noticing that like there's, hold on. There's like these two hands and they're like diagonal. It's like dark hands kind of moving down to like where you are here when you're at rest. And then your hands are moving up to like kind of receive a spiritual message. And then underneath that is message to pass on. So I think I'm right to have said what I've said. I don't know, like, yeah, and then underneath that we have like loss. Underneath message of forgiveness. So like because let's say for example I just said that and then you're like, well dude, you're totally mean. You want to tell me what to do. I feel like that response is a valid response, but it could be a trauma response. So like, do we as a people, or do you personally, can you identify a resistance to discipline? Like, is that something that is in any kind of way a factor? Because in some ways, discipline can actually promote or like create the platform for your freedom. And I think that energy is supported right now for you specifically. Like, using discipline to support freedom. Your routines and like work functions could be taking like utmost importance right now. And the like way that you flow through those functions is like noted. Like, I think you could be someone who like looks good when you're at work or something. Like, when people look in on you doing your job, they are pleased. Or even if it isn't like job, it's like, you know, when you're like in the group. If there is a group, maybe it's like the grocery store. Love. Okay, I kind of want to like get one more. But it's hard to shuffle because my hands hurt. I'm gonna keep saying it because I don't want you guys to think that just because I'm doing it, they don't hurt. I'm suffering. Okay, message of forgiveness in reverse again. So there could be spiritual warfare at play in your life. Or you could be, like, once again, karmic message and then loss. don't get stressed out too much about what you literally don't have any hand in or control over. Like, the more you don't care, the easier your life will be. And, like, I don't even really know, like, if that's advice that you are inclined to, like, trust in. But maybe, like, if you're not, like, if you're, like, not really understanding that, maybe just hear me out and just keep me in the back of your head. Because what I found is, like, as someone with, like, Virgo moon, Virgo rising, if I do overthink, I become paralyzed in thought. So sometimes it's better to just trust that I'll know what to do and how to do it. And not even really worry about what steps exactly are in between, because if I spend too much time all at once, you know, sometimes I'll get trapped. It's okay to, like, pick it up and put it down and pick it up and put it down if you can't take it all at once, you know? Like, you could benefit from becoming compartmentalized, and I think that's, like, something that's a flex of yours, like, your ability to maintain different selves. But, you'll need to have that good meditative practice, whatever that is, if it's, like, the gym or gardening or walking your dog or whatever, so that you can vent out those other selves, so that they don't become clogged with that negative energy that you're displacing there. Because I'm, like, in my head I'm thinking, like, Finn, the human from Adventure Time. Like, you could be the kind of person who just wants to, like, you know, dance through life, and you might do that, like, a lot, and then all of a sudden, boom. Yeah. You get hit by your own shadow, and then you have to submit because you haven't been practicing submission. You get the ultimate worst kind of domination when you are not used to submitting. Or just, you suffer more when you're not used to it. So try to get used to, like, the suffering of your life so that it doesn't bother you as much. This is, like, kind of Buddhist philosophy. Like, accept suffering, know that it's coming, suffer wisely, suffer in the way that's strategically advantageous, and then suffer well and take a reward for what you have suffered. And then suffer more in another way. And just keep going. And it's all good. Okay, so this next part of your reading is love related. And we're talking about two different people. Ethan and Joe. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I have these two decks right here. I could use these, but I don't know if I really want to use those, or if there's another two that might be better. I'm looking all around. And you said, like, in your request that there were, like, a couple people that you had, like, in mind. And I feel like you're the kind of person who is big because you have suffered a lot. So that makes sense, you know, that you would attract a lot because you have a lot to bring in terms of, like, enrichedness. Like, you are substance. There is substance. And it's, like, maybe even, like, a never-ending substance. I don't know if you have, like, any kind of, if you work with this person, or if they regularly, like, have the ability to intake new information about you. So, like, if they can, like, readily intake, like, this is, I haven't even specified who. It doesn't even matter. I think in general, like, any person who knows how to get information on you maybe has like a tendency to become like addicted to having that information about you. I think that you're like kind of captivating, or like maybe some people even like want to like protect you or something. I don't know. Okay, so I think for Ethan, I'll just do this one. I don't know, dude. Which one? I don't know who these people are. Who? who? Who should I get? Ethan. It only really matters because like the different decks have different pictures on them, and I like to, you know, try to vibe match, but I might not be able to do it perfectly. It's kind of like when you go to Sephora and then they like match your skin tone with the makeup. That's basically what I'm trying to do right now. But it's tarot cards. Okay, I think this is Ethan. I think this is Ethan right here. And then Joe, I think I'm gonna make this one Joe. Olivia, please let me know in the comments what you think about my color match. Is it good? No? Yes. Okay. So, what do you need to know about your situation with Ethan first? He's the 8 of Wands, and then we have Strength Leo. So a lot of fire immediately. And then the 6 of Wands is like a sunset. So I'm hearing, if you like pina coladas, get caught in the rain. It's gonna be like a good times, fun times person, or like you have spent good times, fun times with them. Like you're comfortable with them. Like it's maybe even routine. It's like from grown-ups, so there could be some summer elements here, like I'm hearing a song by A$AP Rocky, or he's at least on it, and it's called Tropical. He's on it with, I think, Cardi. And A$AP Rocky, I think, is just, I think right now he's facing sentencing, right? Like for some crime. I don't even know what he did. But I think Rihanna is sticking by him. And they had a baby recently. So I don't know, is this like a bad boy? Alright, what's going on with Ethan? You know what? I met a boy named Ethan at the Tabletop Heroes board game store. I went there to I wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons with them, but then I just never did. But they did that on Mondays, and I went on Wednesday for the board game day. We did like a zombie apocalypse game, and that was fun. But the boy who sat next to me, his name was Ethan. So I don't. Fun fact. Yeah. He was the son of the owner of the store. And the owner didn't play, he just kind of like sat in the background and like spectated. Like a ref. Or like coach. Okay, 4 of Swords. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. 5 of Wands. King of Wands. Okay, this is a person who is confident and is at peace and does like you. Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Like, this is someone who is confident, is at peace, and does like you. They feel like they've already gestured something towards you that lets you know that. So they're just like resting, I guess, in their knowing that they've done their part. What I do see though, like in between all that, knowing that I'm in between the Four of Swords, which is like I'm at peace and I'm a calm, and then the King of Wands is like I'm that guy and I have the rod and I have the like biggest stick in the world, or like biggest dick in the world, and I'm swinging it around. In between that is like competition and the need to conserve resources. So I don't know if that's because there are people in your life that they feel threatened by, or if that's vice versa. Because they could, you know, be like confident in the man and they have gesture towards you, but they also gesture towards other people, or this could be the energy of them worrying about that with you. I'm not exactly sure right now, like where that's coming from exactly, but I feel like it could be a mutual, like, curiosity. Like, if you are not in any kind of like confirmed relationship, then you could both know that the other person is worth like it wouldn't be surprising if they did have other options, kind of a thing, or that they would explore other options. I do feel like this person like rests around you at peace. So, okay. What else about Ethan and Olivia's relationship with Ethan? We got the Knight of Cups and the Four of Wands in reverse. This is like a conflicting vibe here, because this is like a contrasting energy. I'm looking at it and I'm like, so what's real? Like, if this guy, because like even before I pulled this second row, right, like this is how it looks on the table. It's like happy sandwich, but the meat is sad. Happy sandwich, but the meat is sad. And then the next row underneath their like chill demeanor, hey, like, is like more conflicted energy. Or maybe they're like participating in dynamics that they like, or like towards like relationships that they know that they don't even really care about, or like that are like dead end, and they're just like following through with the motions, where situations are dead end. And I mean, like, yeah, they are at peace, maybe knowing that they're marching towards the end in certain situations. Because, like, the bottom of the deck right now is Six of Swords. It's transition. And there's freedom in that, because the opposite is, like, the boat with the hole in it. Like, this is maybe someone who's, like, a performer, because they are coming out with the King of Wands, so they would be good at just presenting maybe what they want known about themselves and image curating. And then we have the Empress in reverse. Is this the person with the other woman? Because I know that you have a little like situation like that. We've spoken before about this. It could be, if this is that person, I feel like one of the things that, like, makes this difficult? Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. Like, investment is like on this person's mind, because they're like, I have resources, I want a good thing, and I feel like they might have come to the understanding recently that where they are is not this, like what they want. They're understanding how what they have is not that, if they're in any other thing. So it's like, what do I need to do? Like, what might even need to come to an end? What truths, maybe harsh truths, need to be spoken? Because I don't want to maybe keep performing. Like, maybe I'm like tired of performing. Like, I think this person is like accepting for themselves like what they don't want to put up with anymore in certain situations in their life. And that feels like something that's empowering them. And they are putting in like effort to move forward and like cut out the bullshit, basically. Whether this is like people, places, things about themselves. This is someone who's like refining themselves. I talked about like pruning a bonsai, so I'm picking up on like these earthy energies from this person, like them being a practically minded person. You're the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This person might take some kind of like spontaneous or sudden action and express themselves, or at least would be receptive perhaps to, well, actually no, I don't think I'm gonna say that. Well, no, maybe actually, yeah. If you like gesture to this person, I think they would receive you. So, you know, if this is that person who has another thing, and you like we've already known about that, and that's like declined for some time, I think if you communicate your ambition, that could be something that gives this person a light in the darkness as they transition in their life. Like, knowing what they're moving towards could help them feel motivated to take actions from like a fixed position. Leo. Yeah, because they might, like, I'm hearing a girl worth fighting for. A girl worth fighting for. So a reason to turn the wheel, a reason to stay awake at the wheel. Because this person, like, you know, they will wear the happy mask and they will be convincing, but they won't really be happy until they have what they really want, which I think they find resonance with you, which is the reason why if you were to gesture something, I think they would receive it. Or I can't tell like if this is you or this is them, I don't know. But it feels like whenever gestures are gestured, they're received well and continually thought about. Yeah. Okay, that's Ethan. Now we'll talk about Joe. Joe. Good old Joe. Good old boys. The Billy boys. Mystical medleys. Okay. So, What does Olivia need to know about Joe? Ouch. 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 Four of Swords in reverse. Okay, this was the first card for Ethan. Now he's in the reverse. And then it's the Seven of Pentacles. So this, before Four of Swords is usually like patience, it's rest. It can also be death, but I don't usually interpret it that way. Seven of Pentacles. This dude working hard, trying to reap some rewards. Okay, so this could be someone who maybe like wants to move faster, or I don't know. Yeah, the Chariot's in the reverse. Let me get the full picture before I speak on it. I don't want to judge this guy too soon. The World in reverse. And the Knight of Swords in reverse. So I definitely feel like you keep this person like going, like they're excited by you. For some reason, I can't really see deeper than that right now. And I don't know that it's because there isn't anything more than that, but just because it seems like that's most of it. This person could work or, you know, not be very available to you. So you might actually like them because of that, like because they're not really around. Like they are something that you can like dream about, fantasize about. And I think that they might even engage in some kind of like daydreaming thing about you too. But they don't really seem like they're super focused on you. Like they might have like a family expectation or like a work expectation that is like really important to their sense of security. So they're not looking directly at you. What about Joe? But yeah, like, you know, that Cancer energy, every like Cancer male I've ever known and woman I've ever known has been like super clingy. I wouldn't be surprised if this person like had a attachment to you that they don't even really fully acknowledge. So like I'm talking about them not looking at you and you not like kind of basically being important, but like then we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Like they might think of you like at night, like before they go to bed kind of thing. Like you might not pop into their head like, you know, all day, and then like when they go home and get in their bed they're like, I wonder what Olivia's doing. Or I wish I was like cuddling with Olivia right now, because my cat literally just pulled up. Are you gonna come sit on my lap? Sure enough. So I do feel like this person identifies your value, respects it, knows it, but I don't think that they're like necessarily investing like, it doesn't really seem like they're investing like super heavy right now. It's like they're just like eyeing the prize. But not only you as a prize, but also whatever their goals for themselves are. Nine of Cups. Knight of Wands is like a soldier card. Yeah, I think this person is like secretly devoted. Or just like, not secretly, but just quietly. You know, like they aren't like boasting or bragging, really. You're like feeling a large need to like speak on what they act in regularly with like routine. Like, Cat is showing a lot of affection. Like, she's my spiritual little angel. So like, I wonder if this person like graces you energetically more than they do physically. But I feel like they do contribute positivity or just something to your aura. Like they would be like making some kind of deposit. Maybe the spank bank. Yeah, it kind of seems like with the happy squirrel getting his nut that they would probably, and this is coming out underneath the world, bro. You're definitely in the spank bank. Cause you're like a MILF maybe, like I don't know. I think it's attractive that maybe you're competent and still nurturing. So yeah, your balance is nice. I have an evil cat. My cat is evil. And sometimes when she's looking at me, I just really can tell. Yeah, show your little adorable face. She is so mean. Let me clean it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to pause it down so we can Dude, I love this thing. She lets me do whatever I want. Okay, go. Leave me. Okay, one more card, please. The Empress in reverse, the Tower, and the two... Oh, that's a lot more than one. Okay, starting with this. Empress in reverse, the Tower. Underneath, the Knight of Swords moving away from the World card, which I said was like you in the spank bank. But their attention is mostly elsewhere, like maybe during like daytime functions or in the workplace. You could represent some kind of like inverted mother figure. I don't know, like it's the Empress is usually like a mom upright, and then the Queen of Swords came out and like it was a woman with a baby, but it didn't come out. The like Queen of Swords didn't actually come out. It was just there. It's still there at the bottom. So, like, you're not maybe a mom, but you give some kind of oomph, you know, something attractive in that way. Something that speaks to this person's like heart space. And I think maybe you have some trustworthy quality. Like, I don't know if it's not trustworthy because you like keep secrets or like, or they're doing this in secret of you. Because this is coming out kind of on top of the spank bank energy. So this could be saying that they were spanking in secret. Maybe like to social media posts or like any pictures you might have sent. But it also could mean that they trust you competently because you're like intelligent. There's air sign energy coming out now. Especially maybe in your work. Or any like collaborative projects you have taken on together. Like even if that's just like in a conversation that was like went on really well or like long where you were like funny or had something to say or like contribute to conversation that was like unique or unexpected or just similar to them, or let them know that you see or appreciate them. Like I recently went over to someone's house for like a fellowship dinner at church or in the church, and they had like Funko Pops like on their wall, so I showed respect by looking at the Funko Pops. you go if you go to someone's house and you see the Funko Pop, you just gotta stand in front of them and look around and see what their names are, and it's like a little shrine. All right, anyways, that's the end of this reading. So thanks, Olivia, for being a loyal customer, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.